Showtime here. We have made it to episode 4. 4. That's a lot of commitment for me. 4. So we were in Chicago last weekend. Didn't get to do as much filming as I wanted to do. Got to some smaller bourbon shops around the Chicago area, and that was a great time. So hopefully you enjoy what I have for you this week. Looking at a kind of a funnier bourbon to me, a whiskey that not a highly collectible or highly sought after, but for me it's funny, and I'm looking forward to kind of showing that. And then I'm gonna take a kind of deeper look at show some pairs of Kevin Durant, Easy Money, Sniper, Slim Reaper, whatever you call them. That's my guy, and a couple pairs I'm gonna show of that, and I think it should be good. Hopefully you enjoy it. A little bourbon, a little sneakers, nothing too crazy. I appreciate you for subscribing, liking, all that, sharing. I mean, it's been a lot of fun already with the DMs I've gotten and stuff and ideas, and yeah, I'm just pumped. So we'll see where it goes, and as always, thanks for everything. And what's going on? Showtime here. We are downtown Milwaukee. I'm off Clybourne Avenue. I'm picking something up. I think it's kind of funny. I'll get into it more in the actual video portion of this episode 4 that we're in. But kind of funny. Hopefully you get a good laugh out of it. But I am at the Central Standard Craft House and Kitchen. They do some distilling here, and not a highly sought after bottle, but a good one. I'm not going to film in here because there's a restaurant and stuff going on like that. I don't want to interrupt anybody's afternoon. But downtown Milwaukee's buzzing right now. Brewers are rolling. Bucks about to start up. Packers look like we're trending in the right direction, but we'll see. I hope you enjoy this one. Once again, that's 320 East Clybourne. It's Clybourne basically behind, on that side of Clybourne, 3rd Ward. Where we are on this side is more downtown, but a good one. And then we'll go from there, and we'll break it down. Thanks. What's going on? Showtime here. So episode 4, we're off and running. I was able to get a short clip of Central Standard. Bear with me. Their mom's not home, so dogs are walking around, might get some bark and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to do a recap on this one real quick. Something that I think is pretty cool, and that is the L flag bourbon. If you're not from Milwaukee or Chicago, what happens is when the Cubs win, they fly a W flag, signifying that they've won at Wrigley Field. And so as kind of a spin-off of that, with the Brewers just beating them in the playoffs, I thought it was fitting to have the L flag bourbon. Let's see, it's estimated 2019, looks like. Commemorative bottle. Bourbon whiskey finished in wine barrels. It doesn't really list the wine that it's stored in, but this is from Wisconsin, right here in Milwaukee. I'm not sure if they're distilling it themselves. I believe they are, but let's see if there's anything on here. All right, so here's what they have on the back. I'll read that real quick. When the road team prevails in Chicago and an L flag flies, we dedicate this exceptionally smooth bourbon to all who overcome adversity, no matter the odds or how hostile the crowd. Cheers to you and your next taste of victory. Distilled and bottled by Central Standard LLC, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I'm obviously always going to be very pro Wisconsin products and stuff like that. This is too good. I was joking when I was there with the guy. What do you think it would get? Or what would it take for me to get Craig Counsell to sign this one for me? For those who don't know, Craig Counsell is right here in Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. He was a Brewers manager and then left us to go down I-94, and go coach the Cubs. Not mad at him at all. It's not like it's not a great organization and all that stuff. All the money, it's beautiful, Wrigley Field, blah blah blah, nice. But we're Brewer fans, and I'm just always amazed that right now, like our payroll is 143 million, and we're gonna play the Dodgers in the NLCS, and I think theirs is like 420, something like that. So return on investment, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. And if you've been to a Brewer game, I'd argue that the tailgating there is some of the best in the league. So some of the best food, some of the best spirits, definitely some of the best beer. And it's nice that they're winning. My dad reminds me all the time of the 1982 Brewers and how we were up on St. Louis and Jimmy Gantner, Paul Molitor, Harvey Keene, all those guys. So it's nice now that I have kids and the Brewers have been somewhat consistent. I took my son the last time we were there in the NLCS and all that good stuff. So we'll see. I'm gonna try to get out to a game and check that out. But hats off to the nice folks over at Central Standard. Everybody was nice to me there. Very very friendly people, and hats off to them. We'll get into this maybe after. I don't know. I did buy let's just say there will be an extra one for a good friend of mine that I'm gonna get off in the mail, and he knows who he is. And it was nice that the Brewers won, so my phone wasn't blowing up. Okay, from all of my Cubs friends, because like I said, with all the basketball coaching and as frequent trips to Illinois that I get, I know quite a few Cubs fans. So this is funny to me. And someone sent me a clip about Brewers Cubs, and should the Cubs root for the Brewers in the NLCS since they lost to them? My answer to that is I think sometimes it's okay to say I hope both teams lose. Like if it was Cubs Dodgers, I don't really want either one of them to win, so I'm not really pulling for anybody, which is totally fair. Like I don't expect them to now we go Brewers. No. Because I want that same energy when spring training starts and that kind of stuff, because that's fun. I enjoy the banter. Don't make it personal. Don't make it personal. For me personally, I think dogs are here. I think personally that my relationship with Cubs fans is more fun than my relationship with Bears fans. Bears fans seem to get a little more sensitive and that kind of thing. But maybe that's because the Packers are better and we kind of have the ace in the hole in those competitions. But so check it out, Central Standard. They're over on Clybourne downtown. Great stuff. Appreciate you. And we'll talk a little sneakers with you. So anybody that knows me knows how I feel about Kevin Durant. Former Longhorn freshman, and I would argue one of the best freshman years ever played. But the other guy I would talk about with that is Michael Beasley at Kansas State, but that's a whole different conversation. But KD's always been my guy. Montrose Christian, Oak Hill Academy, University of Texas, all the good stuff, right? And then he gets into the league and kind of bounces around, and as far as like Seattle moving to OKC, but early on he did not start with a signature shoe, and most people don't realize that. Like his rookie year, he's wearing some different stuff, and actually some of the stuff I own. But cool stuff from him in the Seattle colors, kind of Packer colors. So I always thought that was cool. But I have some shoes to kind of look at, kind of talk about kind of some cool stories that I think are relevant. So a couple things. If you would ask me who is my favorite basketball team ever, all time, I would always answer with USA Basketball because it's the best of the best. Ever since Colangelo gets involved and Grant Hill, and dating back to when I was a kid, the Dream Team and how exciting that was, and then to watch Kevin and his international play and always be tied to that because there's not a huge KD following in Milwaukee. It's hard enough being a Texas fan, but I am a Bucks fan, and Kevin's obviously played in different places in the league, and which is totally fine, and I support him and all of that because I feel any man that wants to work and should be able to choose where he does work and who he works with. But that's a whole different, another one. All right, so I say that USA Basketball, Team USA, whatever you want to call them. And so looking at KD, just some stats to think about. So the craziest one to me is all-time leading scorer, men or women. And that's impressive to me because we had, for so long, there was no WNBA. So players like Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo, and Dawn Staley, and Cheryl Swoops, Cooper, there's so many women that got to play multiple Olympics that did a lot of scoring. So when he broke that record, I was like, man, that's really impressive for men or women. He's the only male athlete to win 4 gold medals for USA basketball. He's the U.S. leader with 88 made threes. He played in 2012, 2016, 2020, and most recently in 2024. USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year, which I think is kind of cool, 3 times. He was the MVP in 2010 at the FIBA Championships. So I pulled out, what it really comes down to is that I was able to obtain the pack that I think that was just Foot Locker and Nike, some limited Nike stores. A friend of mine was out at the Grove in California and gave me a call and said, hey, you want the KD pack in 11? I said, absolutely. So then I thought, that fits. It's my guy. I wanted that pack, and here we are. So I pulled out a couple other shoes, and first is the Hyperfuse. So it's not a KD signature. If you look on the tag, though, it has his name. And what's cool about this is they wore these in 2012. In London. They wore these in 2012 in London. I picked this pair up at the House of Hoops in Milwaukee. What was cool was Nike was pushing the shoe real hard. And this colorway, you could go into the House of Hoops. They had them all lined up, and there were all the Nike athletes that played on the team had this shoe with their name on it. So you could choose the team. I mean, not the team. What am I talking about? Choose the player of your choice that you could grab their shoe. Of course, I grabbed the Durant, and I remember at the time, I want to say it was Westbrook. I was between him and Westbrook, and obviously I went with the Durant. And of course, I'll always go with the Durant when that comes. And but the crazy thing about this one is I believe that Leo Chang, who designed the early KD stuff, did this shoe as well. So kind of fitting for him to wear that with Leo being his designer. Next. And once that kind of started, KD models came out in USA colorways pretty frequently. One of my favorites, kind of slept on, is the 7. This one's been worn. Played in this one quite a bit, but I was just a sucker for the strap. Visible air, all that good stuff. So this, let me see, check my notes, right? This KD 7 was in 2014. So they did not play that year, but USA colorway would release. And you got to remember, there's also international play, the FIBA contest, World Basketball Festival at one time. That was actually in Nike. I remember that. Nike put it on in New York, I want to say, which gets me to the pack. First one we'll talk about is the KD 18. That's his most recent model. Now, this one, the cushioning on this one is unbelievable. I see a lot of kids wearing them and playing in them. I mean, I'm not playing as much as I used to play, but this seems to be like one that the high schoolers are into, which is kind of cool, especially being a KD guy, and we're on KD 18, and thinking about that, like the shoe's 18 years old, so the line is literally older than those freshmen, sophomores, juniors wearing it, which is wild to me. Watching him grow, KD, grow throughout his career and that kind of stuff. So this is a good one. The gold accents. And what I do like is similar to the 4. They released it after he won a gold medal. So he didn't play in the Olympics in this because he wore the 17 last summer. So, and I say that they kind of went retro with that idea, releasing the gold after he had won it. KD4 was the same go round, because it released in 2012 to commemorate the gold medal in 2012. So like that summer, I think this was like a fall release. And what always drove me wild was I missed this shoe at House of Hoops by 15 minutes or something like that. My friend was working there, and I didn't get any special treatment. I showed up the day of, and literally a guy, couple in front of me, got the last 11. So I actually never owned the original one until much later. So to have this in a pack, I mean, I want to go back and grab another pair just because I want to wear it. It's kind of gaudy. I like the blue with the the navy, I should say, with the red gold accent, or primary gold, and then the clear sole. I'm not a huge fan of clear sole, but I do like the bluish tint to it. So this one to me is a winner. So that's kind of my brief KD USA basketball history lesson. Just a couple pairs I had in the basement that I wanted to show. And there's a couple USA pairs that I have that I wasn't able to track in the basement, just for managing stuff like that. But that's it. That's a wrap on episode 4. Appreciate you subscribing and liking and all the DMs and all the support. Thanks again.